expect me to sing, but tonight I'm glad that I'm not singing following that. I'm going to do comedy, so hope you'll bear with me. There's a college professor who is sitting in his office, and one of the female students walks in and says, "Professor, I really need to pass this class." And he says, "Well, your grades are not very good." She quietly closes the door and says, "Professor, I would do anything to pass this class." He says, "Anything?" She leans forward and quietly says, "Anything." Even more quietly, he leans forward and says, "Would you study?" I have a friend who was born by cesarean section. Now every time he leaves the room, he has to go out through the window. There's a young woman on her wedding night in the old country, and she's a little bit nervous because she's never done this before. It's the old country. And so she's in her bedroom with her new husband, and her husband takes off his shirt, and his chest has hair on it. Well, she wasn't prepared for that. She runs downstairs. She says, "Mama, Mama, he's so hairy." The mother is in the kitchen stirring the soup. It's the old country. It's a multi-generational household. And she says, Now, dear, you're a wife. You must go upstairs and do your wifely duties." "Yes, Mom." And so she goes back upstairs. Her husband takes off his trousers, and his legs are covered with hair. She runs downstairs. "Mama, Mama, he's so hairy." Now, dear, you are a wife. You must go upstairs and do your wifely duties." "Yes, Mama." And she goes back upstairs. Her husband takes off his left sock, and he has the prettiest foot you've ever seen. It's just perfect. And she thinks maybe this won't be so bad. He takes off his right sock, and there are no toes on his right foot. All the toes are missing from his right foot. Well, that's just too much. She runs downstairs. "Mama, Mama, he has a foot and a half." "You stay here and stir the soup, dear. I'll go upstairs." A blind man walks into a retail department store, and he's walking with his seeing eye dog. He walks to the middle of the store and lifts the dog up over his head and goes like this. The store manager sees this and comes over and says, "Sir, may I help you?" He says, "No, I'm just looking around." Herman says to his wife, Sadie, "What do you want for breakfast?" She says, "You'll forget." He says, "I won't. Don't stop that again. What do you want for breakfast?" She says, "You'll forget." He says, "Will you please just tell me what you want for breakfast?" She says, "All right, get me a sesame bagel with lox and cream cheese and an orange juice." He says, "Okay, I'll be right back." She says, "You'll forget." Slam. He leaves. An hour goes by, 2 hours, no Herman. Now it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. In comes Herman carrying a paper bag. She says, "I knew you'd forget." He says, "What?" He says, "I brought you your corned beef on rye, your coleslaw." He says, "That's what you wanted, right? So what's the problem?" She says, "The problem is you forgot the mustard." There's a chicken and an egg lying next to each other in bed. Chicken and the egg. And the chicken has a very satisfied look on his face. He's smoking a cigarette. And the egg is frustrated and rolls over on his side and says, well, I guess we finally have the answer to that question. You've been a great crowd. Be sure to tip your waitresses.